Okay, very interesting. Also, you notice that when Susan says Aaron, she kind of looks away from the camera and sort of plays her hair. Nice run down like that. I think that's a self-soothing thing. Um, and you want to self-soothe if you ever watched any of Aaron's stuff. You think, holy crap, where's this going, right? This was an interesting sudden change in body language that it made me laugh. This build-up had a like a normal baseline that Susan has. She was sort of watching the chat, leaning, not that leaning that much, but her one arm sort of like this, which suggests to me that she wants to get closer to the chat or whatever screen's in front of her. And she's looking. What I think she would be looking at the screen is she looks like she's being attentive then. So, yeah, well, this did make me laugh. Just press play for you.
Three of them,
Thanks for the timestamp.
they are not some kind of evil cabal trying to take down KJ using hackers. No, 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 no. It is not a cult.
I don't. It's fascinating. There could be a number of things above. This. I see this, and I'm trying to access description of this. But what I think, I mean, if the orientation is right, if the camera is not flipped, she's just looked down to her left with self-talk, holding this huge flask in front of her. I'm drinking a caffeinated beverage. Shouldn't really drinking that later at night, but having been ill and replenish some of the fluids and sugars in my body. Definitely better now. I'm bouncing back. This was quite a long span of coughing. Doctor said, when we get back to Susan in a bit, doctor said he had a mild case of bronchitis, basically. It's definitely clearing. My voice is getting better. So, yeah, good job I got this week off, eh? So anyone who was worried about that, fine, I'll get there. So, this is very fascinating. It's a long pause as well. It's like, she didn't do, let's say this is a flask. She didn't go, it's not a cult. What she did was, it's not a cult. Something to that effect. Like she's hiding behind the flask. And like me, actually, probably when I record on OBS, you can see myself actually on the. Can't at the moment, actually. Let me click that. So I see myself actually on camera. You'll see something called. I don't know if she blades here. I'll describe what blading is in a minute.
Not at all.
Yeah. I don't know if her baseline that she normally plays her glasses the way she's doing it. Because you could read something into that, but if it's a baseline, if it's a common thing, then it's nothing to read into. But people will wipe their eyes like that when they describe something they saw that they don't like that they saw. Keep that in mind. If you see somebody doing that and they describe something they saw, ask them a couple of times relating to what was seen and see how often they do that. Then you get a better discernment of crystallizing that theory of, they didn't like what they saw. Sometimes people have a sleeper in their eye or itchy eyes or whatever.
It is not a cult.
She doesn't move her torso. Actually, when she says that, there's not much. It's also very stiff, actually. But during this, it was her arm for one arm that grabs the flask, even before grabbing the flask, is kind of open. So she feels fairly confident until she says it's not a cult. I think it's just something. It's something funny about this, and it's very interesting how funny it feels to analyze it though as well. It's like, am I right? Am I wrong? This it's funny and had me laughing when I saw this. It's a long pause. It's like, I'm going to take a big swig after saying that. I hope nobody says that quite questions this, that it's cult like. You know, I don't know what's going on in her head, but I can imagine possibility. It's a long pause that is almost dismissive. It's like, not a cult. I would leave that to her side now. You know, she just put stop that it's not a cult. And you play.
Not at all.
Not at all after adjusting the glasses.
I wanted to say something about this pregnancy so bad, but I don't want to look like an awful person.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of bizarre. I think it is. I can see why you laughed. It is. I find it funny.
Hackers, no. It is not a cult.
She's no. It's just like trying to convince people. Not a cult. As she's picking up the flask, right after saying it's not a cult as well, it's looking down to the left. As I've described, I got some confusion initially of who's left, my left or their left. And then one day I thought, well, try to catch myself. What am I doing? With certain thought processes. What's my body language like? And I caught myself looking down to the left with self-talk, and that's usually what is written up in the literature of body language. It can be a bit blurry edge with the eye movements. However, you look at the baselines as well. But certainly it's true with me, and it's true for me when they've written in, like, looking it up, like I'm doing now, looking up to my right, trying to access a memory. You know, oh, what was I doing that day? Or, yeah, being just an honest memory, not being too creative on the spot, but accessing. Not whether it's always like that for me, I don't know. But it's hiding behind that flash, and it's not a cult. Look, as you're saying it, looking down. Well, and it's a long pause. So looking down to the left with self-talk, with a long pause, and then saying,
not at all.
Not at all, and adjusting glasses. I think it feels not funny because it's almost like she's dismissive. Like, chuck that one away. I said this and just chuck it over there. Very dismissive. She doesn't follow through as to explain why it's not a cult. She might even feel like it is if she's that dismissive, I think. Maybe. I'm not too sure, but it's funny because it just seems dismissive. And let's have a look a bit further.
I wanted to say something about this pregnancy so bad, but I don't want to look like an awful person because I'm not.
But this is her own, it's like classic religious mindset, right? Trying to look altruistic. Like a denial, the apology that wasn't an apology. That's definitely, I hate that, despise that, what religion does. You know, see people, religious enthusiasts do this all the time, that they try to slip under the radar. to gain your trust in order to start chipping away and think, hey, later on you go, hey, there's little hints about, oh, I think God's on my side today, or this and that. I hate it. Religion operates like that a lot, and try to hide. It's not a cult. So I'm thinking, she's thinking possibly that she could never be this duped and this foolish to do cult-like things, because she's a good person, right? But along comes in that the inner self-talk with her looking down to the left while hiding behind a flask. Possibly. I mean, that fits with... I mean, if I was one of these people that's just obsessive, KJ Paulson, in the way that some of these are, I think I'd be in denial as well. Because what they're trying to do is trying to expose somebody who's so bad, but they couldn't be that bad, right? To the verge of harassing somebody. And yeah, Katie Joy Paulson is a bag of shit. But it doesn't mean that you have to make video after video after video after all this idiot. And certainly, Erin's got a lot of those videos. And when she mentions Erin's name, it's like stroking the hair and looking away from the camera as well. Claiming that this is a cult. Looking away from the camera and looking down, self-talk. Hiding behind a flash. And then saying, no, not at all. No, it's not a cult. Not at all. But not following it up. It's like, it's not a cult. And I'll tell you why it's not a cult. Was what I would expect from somebody being more honest, truthful, transparent, and altruistic. Because they all pretend to be these things. Yeah. Not a cult.
Know enough people like her and how they think. And I won't doubt if my thought happens. Bossy, you and I are...
It's that long pause, as well as hiding behind the flask, as well with somebody who's reading body language, as well as looking down to the left, and then not elaborating. All of that, all the above, just makes it so damn funny. Thanks for watching. I just look forward to doing another video soon, whatever it might be. I don't... yeah, it's weird. It is weird on its own, and it's... it's almost like comic strip stuff. It's that funny. Thanks for watching anyway. Bye.